Reco by Amaris Brooker.
Chapter 2. Welcome to the Reco Corporation, herded through the barricades in a methodical ramrod straight line, shuffling like cattle into the slaughterhouse, the DPD glaring dead-eyed with cat-yellow irises like gargoyles, stoic as stone. I can see myself, well, the thing the Reco Corporation will make of me, in their place, cold, strategic, empathyless, watching human beings filter into the factory that took away my own humanity. A monosyllabic sentinel that might as well be a pillar of marble and granite. There weren't many others in line to undergo the procedure. An eclectic mix of unique individuals that were about to be turned into drones, weapons, or products. The boy in front of me couldn't have been older than 13. Sent here early by parents desperately hoping that the young age would influence the Reco Corporation to place him in production. A risky move that rarely panned out. The initiative doesn't care about individuality to them. We are all just incomplete science projects. He was shaking, small hands clenching and unclenching at his sides. Face full of fear, he frightfully tried and failed to hide. I want to reassure him, like Matt tried with me. But what could I say to this young kid with fluffy curls and hazel eyes shining with unfallen tears? And even at that young age, an understanding far beyond his years. I know it's pointless, but I can't help myself. Placing a hand gently on his shoulder, he jolts at the contact, looking up at me with unfiltered panic, like he was expecting me to be one of the DPD, about to drag him off to be vanished. Take a deep, slow breath, I instruct, watching his breath hitching as he gulps on air. Come on, kid, you can do it. I won't tell you it's going to be okay, but you will survive this. You'll see your parents again. It won't be the same. You won't be the same, but you'll adapt. So just take a breath. Tears leak silently from his eyes, but his breathing evened out. I pull him into a hug before I can even think twice about it. He grips onto me, fingers curling into the fabric of my shirt, as if holding on for dear life will somehow delay the inevitable. But the line still inches forward. Too soon he disappears into the doors of the Reco compound, and I know I will never see that innocent human kid again. And now I'm at the front of the line. The moment I stepped through the threshold of the Reco compound, the scent of antiseptic and bleach engulfed my senses. I was catapulted back to my childhood, seeing my mother smiling at me from a hospital bed. Thin and tired, curly ringlets of raven hair dulled and matte black. The arm that once lifted me to her hip laying limply in my hand. I never knew why she was sick. That's all Matt ever told me, that she got sick. I still remember the soft, steady, rhythmic beating that I would fall asleep to during visits, as melodic as her voice. Each time getting slower and weaker, her lilac and soil smell replaced with the antiseptic. I never saw her the day she died. Came home from school to Matt cooking in the kitchen. My favourite meal. That would have cost more than he made that week. Leaning down to my level to tell me she died. No body, no funeral, just gone. He never said it, but I knew. The initiative had made her disappear. And now I'm surrounded by that same smell, led by the same development. Ice blue-eyed, sham-smiled nurse, directing me around with a voice that dripped with phony sincerity. If you would be so kind, and your patience is appreciated. The room he leads me to is large. Empty, designed to seat more people than would ever willingly walk through the doors. The hallways are all bathed in the same artificial cold light, whereas this room is hackneyed dark grey, chiaroscuro lighting and cheap plastic seats, seemingly designed to drain the energy out of anyone forced to remain here, while waiting for the first stage of the triangle of change, the evaluation. The development drone returned moments later, enough time for me to count the shadows on the walls, getting the number wrong more than once as they blended together. They are ready for you now. He smiled at me. I had the strong urge to punch him in the face. But I followed nonetheless, down the white, unsettlingly clean halls and into a room where 3 lilac-eyed men sat in high-backed chairs behind a mahogany desk circling around a monitor. One buff yellow-eyed woman rigidly standing guard. In the centre of the room, a solitary leather chair. I'm about to stand trial is my first thought as I gingerly take a seat on passive-aggressive instance of the drone. Alaric Crichton, 16. You have an impressive record, young man, said a deep baritone. I don't reply. I'm not expected to. Near impeccable grades, a different husky voice added. We have gone over your academic results a few times, trying to determine which vocation will best prosper from your addition. A self-important, pompous voice interjected. I nod. Excellent. Well, then we'll commence with your evaluation. First, you must undergo a quick worded examination to test your aptitude. It's simple enough, just a few questions. The first voice said happily. He nodded to the yellow-eyed woman who stalks forward, grabbed my forearm in a vice-like grip, shoving it into the arm of the chair with unnatural strength. Padded restraints are wrapped around my wrists and biceps, palms up, securing me firmly into the seat. The nurse who led me to the room moves over with a tray. He ties a tourniquet around my arm, cleaning my vein before injecting me with a syringe full of transparent liquid. Whatever they flooded my system with after the sharp pinch hits instantly, I feel my mental walls melt like gallium. The desire to talk about everything and anything bubbles just below the surface. My inhibitions feel like they have been pulled into a dense fog, and my anxieties of glass become sand between my fingers. I try to cling to them like a life preserver thrown to a drowning man. I know I have to be careful, watch what I say, but suddenly I need to talk, and the fear hindering me is being vacuumed by the fog. The deep baritone man nods in appreciation to the woman and the nurse who step back to their previous positions. Elliot, if you would. The man with the deep baritone gestures. The husky-voiced man from the far left of the table stood. With self-important robotic movements, he strides stiffly to a podium to the left of me. My chair spun to face it, and the room darkened, obscuring the panel of development scientist in shadow. A man tries to lure a child away from its mother. What do you do? Shout to the mother. Intercept the man or grab the child, he asks. Intercept the man. I answer immediately. I couldn't risk that he wouldn't do the same to another kid. You are starving on a deserted island with no hope of rescue. Luckily, you find an orange tree. What do you do? I think about this for a little longer. The instant reaction is to eat the oranges and plant the seeds. But that wouldn't sustain me for long, and you can't live off just oranges. I'd use the oranges to lure and hunt wild boar, I say. The nod of acknowledgement I earn from the expressionless yellow-eyed woman makes me instantly regret it. Fuck, and fuck. There it goes, my last chance at getting placed into production. A woman responsible for killing 4 people stands trial. One of the people she killed had previously killed 16 others. Do you believe she was justified? Depends, were the other 3 innocent, I answer, earning a smirk from Elliot. Last question. A person of authority asks you to deliver a seemingly innocent package to a potential threat to Alisteria. You are only told not to open the package. What do? I internally battle my instincts to admit that I would open the package regardless. I wrestle against the drug in my system, eventually gaining enough control to lie, to answer in a way I think they would want to hear. And in my words, I carve my own name into my tombstone. I would deliver the package and monitor the recipient until they open it. If it's a threat to the territory, I would intervene. No matter what, unless they find something glaringly wrong with me in the medical evaluation, I knew where I was going. Defense. I was going to become an emotionless, apathetic, yellow or red-eyed monster. A monster so feared a 13-year-old boy flinches at a gentle hand on his shoulder.
Please like, subscribe and share for the next chapter. And I would love to hear any feedback you have in the comments below.